Okay, I'll just wait for 60 seconds more. I think we are almost full house and we are good to start. Until then, if anyone wants to ask any question out of what they're expecting from this session, feel free to do so. Okay, we already have one. Hi, Aditya sir, I'm fit in this webinar as I'm already a CMA. Then maybe only one third, the later half of this webinar would be relevant to you. We have divided this webinar into three parts. First, we'll discuss why CMA. I mean, what's the overall perspective of pursuing this course? Second is aspirant to certified candidate, or who's completing CMA. And third part is life after CMA. How should you plan your career for next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? So maybe for third slide, you might have to wait for some time. I hope that answers your question, Ishan. Riddhi, hello sir. I saw your post on LinkedIn. Thank you for so much efforts. Happy to do so. Okay, I think we are almost full house now, 38 students. Great. First of all, welcome to today's webinar. Thank you so much for making it on a weekend. I completely get it that some of you are working professionals, so investing your weekend on studies it's a big deal. So thank you for that. And secondly, welcome to all the students. I have a special connect, when it comes to student candidates, because I am a professor in one of the colleges where I regularly interact, and the energy I get out of students is amazing. So always love interacting with students. One request, please be as interactive as possible. I'll try to answer all your queries simultaneously while running the session. But as and when we are discussing some deep topic, I might not look at the chat in between. So let's start. Let's start with a very short introduction of myself. Those who don't know me already, my name is Aditya Shelar. I have around 5 years of industry experience, more than 5, somewhat 6 now. Started my career with Deutsche Bank, then FIS and Whatfix. To give you an idea, when I pursued my CMA, it was during this time when I was at Deutsche Bank. This was my first job after BCom. So from Deutsche Bank, I took a switch to FIS. Here I got like a really good jump in my salary thanks to CMA, FRM, and some of the other degrees. After that, did my MBA from IIM Lucknow. Then got placed into KPMG. Whatfix was like a internship plus somewhere I worked as a freelance for around 8 to 9 months. It's an interesting company, by the way. Next, I've worked at a class based out of Hyderabad. I can't take the name right now, but you can check on my LinkedIn. After that, I've worked with a college named BMCC. It's based out of Pune. I was also a guest speaker at Christ College. It's in Bangalore. And currently, I'm engaging with one or two more institutes, but on the back end as a freelance. Next, here's the case study competition. We'll talk briefly about it, but I won this in 2017. I was judged in 2021. If you need my help during participation of this competition, feel free to reach out. And I'm actively, I was a active volunteer in IIM Pune chapter. Now I'm like an active visitor to all their chapter events. But yeah, I presided as president, and I also went to US as part of this committee. I was a global volunteer for a year in 21-22. More or less, more things about me. One thing is that I've kind of taken a break for my corporate journey because I'm a very passionate teacher and I always wanted to do this. And I thought this would be the best time to get in. So here I am. Let's start with the real crux now. Why CMA? Anyone who would like to unmute and give this an attempt?
Because it grows our knowledge
Grows our
or career
knowledge.
opportunities.
Okay, वो तो बाकी के चीजें भी करता है. But why specifically CMA? Or rather, when students or candidates come and ask me कि sir कौन सा best course है? It's like asking between sir क्या better है? It's between paneer masala and let's say veg cutlet. अभी जिसको कटलेट पसंद है he'll go for cutlet, जिसको पनीर मसाला पसंद है he'll go for paneer masala. So it's an apple to orange comparison, but within that apple and orange we'll try to build context कि what makes you choose apple or what makes you choose orange. So again, one last time, anyone who'd like to attempt why you should pursue CMA or why CMA in general?
Global recognition.
Global recognition, yes, we are in the right direction. But then my counter to you would be there are other courses like ACCA, CMA, CPA. Then again, why CMA?
Because it takes less time to complete it, or it has only two levels, level 1, level 2.
Okay, spot on. We are going in the right direction now. First is global recognition. Second is short duration. And I'll hit the jackpot now. It helps you prepare to become the next CFO. The overall objective when this course was formed, and a lot of people don't know this, but when professional courses are designed, let's say course A is a professional course and course B is a degree, university degree course. The main fundamental difference between these two is a professional course is designed by industry experts. But when we talk about degree, these courses or these programs are designed by academicians or researchers. So when we compare these two, Unfortunately, the degree courses we have, let's say in Pune, we have Pune University, Mumbai University, LPU, MIT, others. These guys lack that connect between what's required in the industry versus what's required in the academic world. And thus, in commerce sector specifically, we have a whole catalog of different courses coming into existence. The main part is, here's overall how an industry is structured. Okay, I'm going to use few loose terms. Please bear with me. But when we talk about business in general, we have two types to look for. One is product-based businesses, and second is service-based. So when we deep dive into something that is product-based, our focus is, or let's say business's focus is always on innovating the product. I always use this example of Tata Motors. Let's say Tata Motors is a product-based business. So next morning when CEO of Tata Motors will wake up from his bed, he won't be thinking about how much money I have or what are my finances looking like. He will only think about how should I come up with the next best car in the industry. Similarly, we talk about any other Zudio, let's say for fashion industry, focus is again on coming up with next best product. Let's say, or mobile industry for that matter, Xiaomi, Apple, all these companies thinking about which should be the next best processor I should come up with. The whole focus is on product. But when we talk about finance, it comes in handy as a support function where the next important person in any company after CEO is CFO. So if you want to expand your business, CEO comes to CFO with all his plans, and CFO is the one who will take up data, who will analyze it, and then help CEO take all the decisions. This is actually what is CMA supposed to do. This is bread and butter of CMA. We look at short duration, better salaries, global recognition as main purpose, but when you're getting into CMA, this is what your overall aim should be. That I'll work with a product-based business or I'll work with a service-based business, and this is how we'll put in some value. And number one profile where CMAs work or where it is best fit is called as FP&A. FP&A. You can Google about this. This is short for financial planning and analysis. There are around 4,000 or 5,000 listed companies in India. Beyond that, we have multiple MNCs who work out of India. All the professionally managed companies have a dedicated team of CFO, and everyone reporting to CFO coming into this function, FP&A, where all they do is understand businesses' expectations, collect the data, analyze the data, and take decisions. And then we have other sections where, for let's say security reasons, we have audit function, we have due diligence function, and let's say internal, external audit, let's say advisory function, and whatnot. The list goes on. These are all supportive functions as well, but the main supportive function played in any company is CFO. I hope this makes sense. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. Okay, no doubts over here. Now coming to service-based businesses, here I'll try to build in a bit different perspective. So within business, now we move on to services. Services are very easy. Something that I provide to you guys, teaching services, that comes under service. Think of Zomato or Swiggy, again, service-based businesses. So within service-based business, again, you have something that is called as non-financial services, and then you have something called as financial services. Financial services includes banking or investment banking. You have mutual funds, you have insurance services, and again, the list goes on. Within this function also, specifically for this part, I have a bit differing opinion. I know there are people who will say that go ahead with CMA, part 2 is good fit. But my personal opinion is, if you want to work specifically in banking, investment banking, you can first consider CFA. And if not CFA, then come to CMA. But specifically just for financial services, or rather investment management industry. The only downside of getting into this industry is financial services is a very small sector when we talk about all the businesses that exist, let's say in India. We plan to work in India, that's our assumption. Secondly, the number of CFS stepping out of India is huge. We have around 30 to 40% passing rate, similar to CMA. So the competition is very intense. And secondly, there's an alternate profession that is competing with CFS, that is MBA Finance, because these guys also fit perfectly into these roles. So investment management industry, if you have that specific aim in your mind, target CFA. If you think that you don't want to invest much, this is too difficult, too competitive, and too small a market, and you want to keep other options open as well, then CMA, within CMA, your part 2 curriculum takes care of financial services. FP&A majorly gets covered in part 1 and little bit in part 2, but CMA part 2 will cover core capital markets for sure, core cap markets, which is the investment management industry, it covers for sure. And when it comes to, again, other services, we have the same answer for product line. We again have CFOs in these companies where your CMA part 1 or overall CMA course, let's say, will come in handy to achieve this title in approximately 10 years, or let's say your promotion don't happen on time, maybe 15 years. That's the overall context of why CMA. I hope this makes sense. Any other questions, any concerns? Okay, Harsh is asking about treasury. Harsh, treasury role फिर क्या होता है ना? I'll tell you. Let's say any company, let's say MRF for that matter. It mainly focuses on producing tires. But at some point, what's going to happen is you will invest whatever you need in this business, but there will be some leftover money lying around with the business, which is not invested, which is being kept as reserve. And then you appoint a treasury function to invest this money in the market on behalf of MRF. But these are fairly short-term investment. Only in rare cases, these are long-term investments. But yeah, that's the idea behind treasury. For treasury, again, CMA fits in. This has to do with investments. So CFA also fits in. And then if you're someone who has done MBA finance, this also fits in. Gurfateh, please go ahead.
CMA is a general type course as it covers a large curriculum.
Yes, yes. CMA gets you those, like gets you opportunities on all fronts, mainly when we talk about both industries, even in product-based, even in services-based. That is the main benefit of getting this degree. Like the whole market is open for you as compared to other degrees, which are specialization. Even people ask me about FRM. FRM though is so specialized that beyond investment banks and beyond, let's say, your investment firms for that matter, hedge fund or other part, there's no applicability. So industry is really small, maybe odd 1,000-2,000 firms. That's my guesstimate. Hierarchy level in investment. Gurfateh, I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hierarchy level in investment banking for CMA, please. Okay, hierarchy goes like this. Timing, this is the last question I'm taking. We'll continue the session and then come back to the questions part. See, once you get into any bank, I'll tell you a story about a friend of mine. उसने CMA किया था. He wanted to get into investment bank. He actually tapped into FP&A role of Deutsche Bank. You can search about Akshay Pawar. He's right now in PepsiCo, but he's my junior. I used to guide him for his CMA prep. So he got into Eaton first. After Eaton, he made it to Deutsche Bank. And after Deutsche Bank, now he made it to PepsiCo. PepsiCo is a huge conglomerate, by the way. The cold drinks that you have, Pepsi, Lay's, vagara, everything comes out of PepsiCo. Now, talking about Deutsche Bank or let's say Credit Suisse, UBS, all investment banks, the hierarchy goes like this. You enter as an analyst, you take a senior role, senior analyst, then you become associate or you become a manager. After manager, you have AVP role, then VP role, and after VP, you become director. Director is the topmost level available within unit of a bank. So let's say there's credit risk team, there is FP&A team, there is accounting close team, accounting close. All these teams has director as their topmost executive, and beyond director, then you have your managing director or C-suite starting up. And each role takes up 2 to 3 years, depending on your performance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 roles. If you are a really, really good performer, 10 years, you should be into director stage, which is very difficult. But in a practical sense, if you have a professional credential, you can make it easily. And you won't believe, मेरे mentorship calls में the kind of case studies I get to see. I had a candidate from my previous class coming in, and she said, I'm 35 years old. I have around 8-9 years of experience. And now I want to do CMA. And my question was why? And by the way, she was interviewing for Google at that time. She was stepping out of Adobe from FP&A team. And my question was why? You already have so much experience. Your package must be north of 20-25. So she said that I just lost out on a promotion as well as a switch into Google because of not having a professional credential. And I was really intrigued. I asked that, what makes you think that just your credential has made you lose this opportunity? She came back saying that the other candidate who got selected, between her profile and the competitor's profile, this was the only differentiating factor. Plus, she went back to the HR to ask for this, that are there any other roles? Why haven't you selected me? And that's the feedback. That's the feedback they have given her, that your certifications are missing, or we want someone who has already a leadership experience or some cream layer certification which they have. And at age of 35 now, she has taken up CMA, which is like a commendable thing. Okay, so I hope why CMA, the context is clear. Someone who plans to complete CMA. Sure, go ahead.
Well, sorry to interrupt meanwhile.
Yes.
That actually I have messaged you in a YouTube also regarding that I am in a UK and I'm currently pursuing, preparing for it and supposed to give my exam in September, October window.
Right,
So
right.
in UK, there might be, I've already applied to the job, but I don't know whether they recognize it, whether they have an information of, US CMA. They
Hmm.
usually prefer that AAT, something like that, exam
Okay.
or, yeah.
I'll
So,
I'll give you practical context of this. So the
okay.
overall professional literature, which is globally recognized, mainly comes out of US and UK. These are the two main houses. Initially, UK was very dominant, but somehow US has been trying to put over and actually has achieved success in some of the courses. To give you an idea, for every US course, there's an proxy UK course available. For US CMA, there is ACCA, and there is also
Yeah,
CMA as a proxy available.
yeah,
For
yeah,
FRM,
when,
yeah,
sorry,
there is
to interrupt you meanwhile.
yeah, that's
That
fine.
whenever I won't be applying for the job or anything, they have that particular, criteria, eligibility criteria over written over there. That it's
Mm-hmm.
AAT, some like CMA UK or ACCA UK.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would be a little bit confused that
Okay,
why
so
they have not, the qualification recognition, why they don't have, or what's the difference between that.
okay,
Yeah, you
I'll
can
give
continue.
you I'll give you a very practical idea of this. So one thing is that for every US course, there's a proxy UK course. For FRM also there's PRM. There is for CFA there is CWM, Chartered Wealth Manager, and other courses. So between this, what happened was these guys were fighting for recognition. And what these guys are doing that they'll reach out to different companies, mainly C-suite players, and they will give them honorary membership, maybe give them few perks, give them seat at their, let's say, annual meetings and other stuff. And this kind of competition has been going because these are privatized, even though not sure if they're for profit or not for profit, but these are run by private players. So they have a very strong mechanism in place. Now coming to UK, if you're talking about general openings, yes, there would be a strong lobby coming in from UK companies or UK leaders. And of course, their original preference would be their own local courses. But that's not end of the story. There are dedicated councils. By the way, we don't have this in India, but there are dedicated councils of IMA, which are active in UK. You have to use these channels, get a direct referral, and then get an interview. That's the best possible way. And in US, UK referrals are very effective. In India, like her opening ke liye 10-15-20 referral aa jate. So it's very competitive. Then it comes down to how senior your referral is. But in US, UK, such referral works. I'll get you connected to the UK channel. Don't worry about it. But make sure that you are using this council route, council and chapters. We have chapters in India, UK, US. We have both chapters as well as councils. Okay, cool. Next is aspirant to certified. I usually recommend candidates to not spend more than 6 months. And here's a catch as well. If you're a student, let's say BCom, BBA वगैरह कर रहे हो, spend complete 6 months, please. You have time. You don't have that business acumen built in. You don't have that understanding of businesses. So for you, opportunity cost is less. Study for 4 months properly with, let's say, any class you have joined in. After that, give 1 month dedicated to just MCQ prep. यहाँ पे भी MCQ prep करना है आपको. यहाँ पे along with study batch. And यहाँ पे along with MCQ prep, you have to appear for mock exams. And I'm keeping 15 to 20 days as a buffer if you fall ill, if you have to travel, if there's any function in your family. So an overall 6-month cycle is a good fit. Abhi isko detail like how I conduct in FinStreet, I'm going to open my playbook to you as well. That will show up in 10 minutes. But this is my recommended time. If you are a working professional as I was, I took around 2.5 months, quickly go through the curriculum. Then I spent completely 1.5 months on just MCQ and mocks. After 3 mocks, I got to know that my accuracy is consistently above 80%. I was good for the attempt. And if you ever wonder that how to categorize yourself after a mock exam, here is what you can have in your mind. You can either be between 90% and 100%, 80 to 90, 70 to 80, and let's say 70 or below. 60 to 70 be add karte. I'll give you a hint about this. Over here, I would say this is critical zone, or anything below this is critical zone. Over here, you should go back, you should study, and you should understand that where you're lacking conceptually, because let's say 30% of all the questions you're doing are coming incorrect. Either the application is incorrect, or your understanding of a specific concept is incorrect, or you have left some portion, left some segment out of curriculum. That is a possibility. Between 70 to 80, I would say give yourself an amber color, where let's say you are on the line, you're on verge. And over here, you should completely focus on improvement. Between 80 and 90, you are safe, but with a condition. At least appear for 3 mocks. Sometimes what happens is the questions we have appeared show up again on the exam, which kind of pushes our percentile up or passing percentage up. So if you are able to consistently score in at least 3 mocks, more than 80%, then I think you are comfortably safe. But just one mock more than 80%, that could be a fluke. That could be just out of luck. So make sure you're on the right track. 90 to 100 safe without condition. I mean, you have just killed it in the mock. That's the idea. Again, I will discuss more about this, but this is like a base idea. I hope you guys get it. Any doubts? Okay to move on. Career after CMA. Okay. I think there are no doubts. Let's talk about career after CMA. Sir, will it be possible to clear after class 12? Yes, Ronak, we have a 12th pass student. She just got her result 2 days ago. But what I've done is I've separately created a course called Finance 101. This is not part of CMA. But what this does is it covers your basics. Basics of accounting है इसमें basics of accounting. Then we have what is finance, what is equity, what is debt, what is time value of money, and lastly we have how to use Texas BA calculator. A lot of people don't know about this, but there's a special calculator used in the finance world where you will see all the Excel formulas embedded in the calculator itself. You have to just punch some numbers and the ready-made you will get all the numbers. You don't have to calculate NPV, IRR, payback period, everything you get on a Calci. This Calci is allowed for CMA, but somehow a lot of trainers don't know this calculator. So a lot of people are unaware about this. I'm well aware about this because CFA and FRM needs this Calci. So we also cover this and all students in our class use this. It's a mandatory thing. It helps you save time, nothing else, but time zarur save hoga 5 to 10 minutes overall exam mein. So if you are 12th pass and if you want to join, I would recommend आप ये class join कर लीजिए. If everything is clear, then you can join CMA right after 12th. And whatever you pay for this course, इसको आपको reimburse हो जाता है. Like that much you get discount in the CMA package. So don't worry about it. Effectively, it becomes free. Next is career after CMA. So I have to do this first. And what will be the duration? Duration is what 10 hours of study. These are like half an hour or 40 minutes lectures on each of the topic I had mentioned. And either way, let's say if you're even not joining my class, you yourself can go and study, but make sure that you're clear with this concept. Mainly TVM. If TVM is clear, a huge chunk of your overall CMA curriculum will be easy. Shruti, really sorry, but this is not available for free. So not sure how to get access to this playlist. Yeah, it's good for CA Inter. I'll come to questions later on, please. Let's focus on career after CMA now. So once you are CMA, there are two scenarios. Either you are stepping out of a tier 1 college. I'll build third scenario as well, which is quite obvious in my class. Either you are coming out of tier 2 or any other college. And then we have someone who is into a starter job. Let's say is working out of a research firm, BPO, KPO kind of setup, And now he's looking for a, let's say, fast track growth. Matlab your salary is somewhere around 1.5 L to maybe 3 L. इस level के बीच में है. Now you have pursued a CMA. Now you're looking for fast track growth. First scenario, if you're coming out of tier 1 college, tap into your placement cell. I closely work with a placement cell of a college in Pune. Believe me, the kind of jobs you get out of placement cells are amazing. And that is harsh reality because tier 1 colleges are treated separately. This is a very less known fact, but I'll share something with you. When I entered KPMG, there was a batch of around 30 consultants. We were pretty much doing more or less the same job. But just because some of us were from IIM Lucknow and others were not from IIM Lucknow, or others were coming out of, let's say, IIM Nagpur, or there's IBS karke koi college in Hyderabad. So majority of students coming from here. Inka package was less than half of what we were being paid. Literally. मतलब उतना तो CMA करके 1-2 साल के एक्सपीरियंस में जितना मिल जाता उतना उनको MBA के बाद आफ्टर स्पेंडिंग अ लॉट गिविंग आउट 2 years of their career, no income, it was a harsh reality and I was shocked. And another interesting thing, these guys got to know that we are paid like anything. Okay, our average was 30 that year, so somewhere around that. So one of the candidates actually हमारा town hall होता है partners के साथ, C-suite level of Big Four, and one of the candidates actually asked that why is there so much differentiation between college status and packages given out, and our partner straight away said there is going to be such difference because your career trajectory and tier 1 college trajectory will have a huge difference in them. That's it. That's the answer. Differentiation hoga to hoga. Now these C-suite guys are not answerable to anyone, but I'm sure they have their own logic behind it. Mainly it's more to do with getting in fresh talent and nurturing ताकि वो culture अच्छे से set up हो. Coming to tier 2 colleges. Tier 2 colleges में unfortunately placement available नहीं होता. Over here what you need to do is first thing, build your profile. You have to get into a competition, which is very, very not, I would say, very difficult to crack, but very difficult to understand. People don't know how to compete in the race, and those who know, they make it, even coming out of some ABCD XYZ college. So it's very difficult to understand, and here's how I'm kind of breaking down for you. First, build out profile. Profile में क्या क्या आएगा? First, you need to build some good projects, and secondly, internships. Start with a virtual internship जो free में मिलता है. Go to this website called the 4H. This is like ABCD of doing internships. ये हो जाएगा, इसके बाद आप actual real internship भी crack कर लेना. It's very easy to do. So build in profile. Profile में और भी आता है skill based certifications. I have a list later on in this presentation. वो पूरा list मैं आपको दिखा दूंगा. But skill-based certification don't pursue randomly. I usually give out 6-7 names of different certifications. I have seen students doing all of them. Please don't do that. Maximum 2 certifications are enough. The certifications depend on the profile you're targeting. So अगर आपको let's say analytics में जाना है, so basically just do Excel and Tableau. Don't do anything else. Excel and Tableau. अगर आपको FP&A में जाना है, FP&A, so do Excel and along with do Power BI. Power BI. So there are different combination of certification depending on the profile. So I would say, going to the logic explained in the first slide, understand what kind of target you want in terms of companies, sector. If you want to work in pharmaceutical, I have few friends who are CMAs working in Chennai in different pharma companies, doing amazing, especially post-COVID. The kind of salaries these guys are getting, it's crazy. But anyways, here's the logic. So you do these 3 things. Second is start networking. We have enough opportunities to network in CMA. I usually tell how to do it in my class. It's a bigger topic, so I won't go in detail. Third thing is take assistance from your prep provider. Most of you join classes, put pressure on them. Your classes should take your responsibility. You will maybe not the right thing to do, but yesterday I got a call from a student who has joined India's biggest class for US CMA, okay, so-called biggest. और उसको पिछले 1 महीने से there are 0 openings he's having. It's really struggling. और ये सबके साथ होता है. और यहाँ पे your just check with the placement team of your class. अगर आपने already कहीं पे कर लिया है, what kind of approach they are having. Classes should have direct contacts where they'll get you placed easily. For me, to give you an example, Hitachi, एक company है, उसके one of the senior executives is my student, but he has taken one-on-one classes. But I've built such good relation that as soon as one of my student needs placement, I'm going to go have a word with him and say, उसका नाम, I won't take his name, but hello, mister, can you please consider this guy? And I'm quite sure he'll get a direct interview. So such kind of contacts are really necessary. Second thing, जब भी कोई क्लास क्लेम करता है फॉर प्लेसमेंट दैट वी हैव टाई अप, वी हैव कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, वी हैव एमओयूज, प्लीज डोंट फॉल फॉर दैट. ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता है. आई हैव वर्कड इन अराउंड 6-7 कंपनीज एज ऑफ नाउ. किसी भी एबीसीडी क्लास के साथ, क्लास तो छोड़िए, आईआईटी आईआईएम के साथ भी टाइप्स नहीं होते. What actually happens is a class will create a pot or let's say a profile of all the candidates they have, at least 10, 20, 30. फिर वो प्रोफाइल को इकट्ठा एक एचआर को भेज देंगे. एचआर से कैसे मिलना है, कैसे ये करना है, दैट इज कंप्लीटली सेल्स जॉब. जैसे आप कोई लेट्स से LIC इंश्योरेंस बेचते हो, वैसे ही अलग अलग क्लासेस के टीम्स रहते हैं सेटअप. एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली कुछ क्लासेस के तो है ही नहीं. बट व्हाट आई डू इज आई हैव अ सेपरेट person dedicated who takes your CVs, calls different recruiters, tell them about क्या, we have this 10-20 students, you have these many openings. वो openings कैसे track करते हैं, we have different database for that. But once we get to know about the openings, we send bunch of emails, we talk, have a word with the HR, he goes through all the CVs, जो भी better fit है, he gets a call. So it's a very fair process for all the classes. ऐसे कुछ होता नहीं है कि किसी क्लास का किसी वर्ल्ड बैंक के साथ टाई अप है तो डायरेक्टली प्लेसमेंट हो जाता है. दैट इज रबिश, इज रियली रबिश. एंड इट्स अ वेरी इजी थिंग टू चेक. अगर कोई क्लास 100% प्लेसमेंट गारंटी क्लेम कर रहा है, आर देयर रिपोर्ट्स, आर देयर स्टूडेंट्स, आर देयर स्टोरीज? नो. स्टूडेंट्स बहुत सारे हैं, 1-2 पोस्ट दिखते हैं, मेक्स नो सेंस. नेक्स्ट, वंस यू हैव योर प्लेसमेंट असिस्टेंट टीम वर्किंग फॉर यू, आफ्टर दिस you yourself need to do couple of things. Go on my YouTube channel, there is a video on how to find your first job. How to find your first job. It's a 30-minute video जहाँ पे मैंने 4 टेक्निक्स बताए हैं. Please follow these techniques for at least 2 months. जॉब आसानी से, you'll get interview calls, but you need to be prepared for those interviews. तो यहाँ पे अगर जो प्लेसमेंट टीम है, make sure they are preparing your CV, they are taking your mock interviews, they are helping you connect with different industry experts who will also help you with placement preparation. मतलब to be frank, मैं जब IIM लखनऊ में गया था, for first 4-5 months, all we did was prepare a CV. और हमारे alumni, पहले 1 साल के alumni, 3 साल, 5 साल, और super alumni जो senior level पे है, इन सब के साथ mentorship session होता है, mock interviews होते हैं, वो हमारा CV check करते हैं. There are 7 revision of CVs that go through. Similar kind of things we are having in house, but this is what is required to get actually placed in good roles. And lastly, let's say you are under this segment. This is so very easy. As soon as you have CMA, make a very, very attractive CV. उसके भी कुछ techniques रहते हैं, star method वगैरह. वो technique use करके please make a CV, circulate. If you have more than 1 year of experience, easily you should get a call back in today's market. मेरे जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं, somehow majority of the students are working professional. Easily they should be able to get it, provided a good CV and good communication skill. Any doubts? I guess you guys have some doubts over here. No doubts?
Well, can you little bit brief for what the projects we should take on?
Projects could be, चलो एक बहुत easy example देता. Let's say you want to break into FP&A. One model you can come up with building a cost model of a company. Let's say you are targeting मुझे PepsiCo में ही काम करना है. What you can do is you can create a pseudo company which is of size of PepsiCo. Second is understand what kind of businesses they are into. Third thing, come up with 3 unique ideas. Unique ideas which will help you do cost optimization. Then create an Excel sheet where you have base model, matlab before model, impact of these 3 ideas on costs, and then after model. And this before and after will include 4 to 5 statements, mainly 4 statements. One is the P&L, second is your balance sheet, and third is your cash flow. And you have to prove that how this can get better. And while applying, let's say we have direct referrals in PepsiCo. So while sending your CV, we'll also send this project. And we'll also send bunch of other projects. There's one of the students I interacted with, Mohammad Imroz. He has around 4 to 5 projects on Tableau and Power BI, which are really great. I have yet to cross-check it properly, but this is one of the projects you can work on. Secondly, let's say you're targeting analytics role. Go log in into student version of Tableau, which is free. Take up a data set. Getting data set is very easy of any company where you need transaction level data set. After this, make some assumptions in the market. Again, this is type of modeling again, and your transactions will change accordingly. And the delta, whatever numbers are coming in, let's say your revenue shooting up, your fixed investment is shooting up, all that you will analyze into a separate sheet showing impact on profitability, operations, and other part. So it's a complex thing. Let's say you yourself take it up, it's a bit difficult. I would recommend go have a mentor, have someone from the industry who can help you out with this. I used to work on Tableau. So if someone wants to work on Tableau, they can get in touch with me. What package after US CMA plus 1 year of corporate experience? Okay, मैं आपको normal trajectory बताता हूँ. This is practical trajectory again. Don't fall for what classes are claiming like. So 0 to 2 years is first category, 2 to 4 or 5 years is second category, and 5+ years is another category. If you are coming out of tier 1 college, your package is going to be 5L plus, यहाँ पे 8L plus, and यहाँ पे let's say 10 to 15L plus. And let's say you are coming out of tier 2 other etc. We have just discussed the different categories. यहाँ पे your package is going to be between 3 to 6L. Depends again how you crack it. It also depends in which part of the country you are. I saw some friends coming out of tier 2 college in Mumbai, but just because he was in Mumbai, he got to know about mass hiring happening in Deloitte. Mass hiring is like at a time companies hiring 100, 200 employees. And at that time he had CMA, he appeared for an interview in Deloitte and he was offered 5.5. So ये rare cases में होता है. He was in Mumbai. The mass hiring notification was sent out in just 3 or 4 days. He was there at the right time at the right place. होता है. So 3 to 6 is very much doable, but rare cases में usually 3.5-4 तो आराम से हो जाता है. Next is 2 to 4 to 5 years of category. Again 8L plus, but given you take a switch. अगर आप सेम जॉब में रहते हो, there's a good chance आपका बस 5-10% इंक्रीमेंट होता है. So I always recommend take a switch. I was in this category, 2018 में my salary was between 3 to 6. I took a switch. I went into 8L plus, and again recommended another switch or promotion plus switch. This will again take you 12L plus. I hope this gives you an idea about average salaries. Again, this is experience and observation based. CA student with no experience. ऐसे special cases थोड़ा चलो अभी we'll spend 5 minutes. I'll do one thing. I'll wrap this up and I'll come to you guys with zero experience. No issue. ठीक है. There's 2-minute slides on if anyone is interested in joining FinStreet. Couple of things we do. We usually take pride in first attempt, but here is a catch. Okay, मैं easily students को attempt नहीं देने देता. What we do in our classes, we take up section A, B, and F. Part 2 से start करते हैं. Students then need to appear for a mock, mid-season mock, and in this mock, if they score above 80%, then they are consistent with, let's say, 3-4 महीने में जो attempt आ रहा है, we target that. But if students score less than this, we push the attempt ahead, or else we tell student that what all needs to be done, and then there's another test we take within a week. Because when you need to pass in your first attempt, your preparation from initial phase needs to be at par with expectation. Second is placement mentorship. Nothing but we make your CV, 3 mock interviews, and then we have 2 mock interviews. So 3 mock interviews are in-house, 2 mock interviews are with industry experts, and then we have few certifications for you, again for free in-house. Placement assistance, we just discussed. We guarantee interview opportunities. Again, cracking interview is up to you. But in my experience, with the level of preparation we have, cracking interview is very easy. You guys must have seen kal announcement hua tha. We have joined hands with Hock. But this is overall what we give with total CMA ka package. Saturday, Sunday classes, 5,000 plus MCQs. इसमें 4K Hock से आता है. 1K is us, FinStreet. 20 plus test. So this is something like we take classes on Sat and Sunday. We have a test going out on Wednesday. And then we have a doubt solving session every Thursday from 9 p.m. to 10:30. तो हर वीक जब टेस्ट होता है ना तो इजीली आर प्रोग्राम इज फॉर 24 वीक्स सीएमए पार्ट 1 प्लस पार्ट 2 तो आराम से 24 तक टेस्ट हो जाते हैं अगर बीच में छुट्टी दिया देयर इज मॉक एग्जाम देन वी डोंट कंडक्ट टेस्ट तो इसलिए सेफ साइड हैव रिटन 20 टेस्ट बट ऑन एन एवरेज 24 टेस्ट हो जाते हैं या दैट्स प्रीटी मच इट लेट्स कम टू हाँ एंड दिस इज हाउ वी एक्चुअली कंडक्ट आवर सीएमए करिकुलम एवरी स्टूडेंट स्टार्ट्स विद फाइनेंस 101 and frankly speaking जो BCom BBA students भी होते हैं even those guys needs this basics somehow I don't know that the degree or education system is failing us or something but finance 101 is required as simple as what is finance students are not able to answer what is equity नहीं पता what is risk नहीं पता harsh reality but yeah after first 2 months 50% curriculum is done another 2 to 3 months another 50% of curriculum is done we have 1 to 2 month ka buffer this is 2 to 3 2 to 3 and then 1 to 2 months overall 6 months mein this easily gets wrapped up yes mid-season mock end of the season mock and then for practice we have around 2 to 3 mocks available so total 5 mocks 4 are there for sure 2 coming in from FinStreet 2 from Hock और एक on demand रहती है if student is really doing well we always give him one more mock any doubts anything or are there any recommendations you want me to do to this plan most welcome no ठीक है okay this is last slide but yeah someone wants to join अच्छा मैंने एक सरप्राइज अनाउंस किया था द सरप्राइज इज if you join rather let me go to surprise as well we are starting a new batch on June 1st so if anyone is joining in दो classes पे there is early bird discount of 5k that is first surprise by the way there are multiple surprises but yeah this is the first one and यहाँ पे आप directly मुझसे सीखोगे in Pune virtual program is the same thing class by the way Saturday is classroom plus Zoom so it is hybrid Sunday is completely online all students are online but yeah this is the overall idea if you're in Pune I would recommend you to come in this would go now around 75 and let's say if you're online you can tap into this with approx 65 with all the benefits included and let's say if you just want my recorded lecture plus Hock study material books question bank mock exam then this is 50k -ish. Yep. So that's it about the course these are the certifications we recommend 6 certifications can go beyond this but it depends on your profile let me draw some examples again FP आने के लिए ये it's really good you get a CFO role office or you get a founder role office founder role Power BI is really good Ultrix is mainly for big 4 we used to use a lot of Ultrix and let's say any company where you want to get into automation so mainly MNCs investment banks everything Ultrix is very much useful but if you have some technology inclination next is basics of stock market let's say if you want to get into equity research role equity research or any other role stock market basics is a must secondly if you want to start your own advisory start your own investment firm advisory firm get a tie up with let's say ICICI SBI for selling mutual funds insurances and other stuff I'm there to support you don't worry next is Tableau mainly for data analytics financial modeling this is a kind of a generic course but let's say if you want to get into valuation team due diligence or let's say M&A due diligence overall financial modeling comes in handy or even corporate finance roles raising capital buy side sell side sitting with entrepreneur helping him raise capital those kind of roles next is MS Excel is applicable for everything this is like a free compulsory course for everyone we have in house and by the way I won't be teaching you this we have experts coming in let's say for Ultrix we have a manager from JP Morgan coming in who happens to be our student as well but he's an expert in Ultrix he'll teach you for Excel we have a EY consultant coming in he's pan India known the LinkedIn celebrity but I won't announce his name then for Power BI we have a again finance professional working out of Pune for Tableau I'll take up I have expertise financial modeling I'll try to get you a proper investment management industry ka CFA or someone so we have experts in place who will help you with this is the second surprise I have for you इसका ट्रेलर मैं आज आपके साथ लाइव रिलीज करने वाला हूँ. देयर इज अ 1 hour और 1.5 hour पॉडकास्ट कमिंग इन नेक्स्ट 10 days. बट आज आपके साथ सोचा इस वेबिनार के बाद आई विल रिलीज द ट्रेलर. It's a deep conversation with Brian Hock. Hock is the president of Hock Publication. His books are amazing. I have personally studied from his books, but overall his understanding of the industry is good, and CMA prep. And one more thing, I have a dedicated session on the American dream in this podcast, जो I think last के 30 minutes में. So you can watch the episode accordingly. बट हाँ, ये मेरे चैनल पे नहीं आएगा. दिस विल कम ऑन FinStreet एजुकेशन चैनल. लेट मी रिलीज दिस. अंटिल देन प्लीज आस्क योर क्वेश्चन. So those who want to watch, I'm just putting it to public now. You guys can directly go on this channel and watch the podcast. And simultaneously, let's start with Q&A. Please feel free to ask your questions. Oh,
May
can
I
you please
ask?
ping channel link? Sure. हाँ, go ahead.
Whenever I was in UK, I used to see that they usually use softwares like Sage, Zero, QuickBooks, Sage 50, Cloud. I might be cloud accounting. So these are the things also would be required to, get a gist of it.
In terms of software, I would have only one recommendation. You can take up SAP FICO, SAP HANA वगैरह बाकी के, but SAP का overall आप SAP FICO basics तो कर सकते हो. But again, this is something you would preferably learn on job. I don't think software का इतना mandatory requirement होना चाहिए. But if you are still asking, a very general course would be SAP. It can be a good add-on.
It can be good add-on for FP&A role.
FP&A role, definitely. SAP softwares are used to manage FP&A, so it's definitely a right match.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Those who are saying मुझे हिंदी आता है, guys, our classes are in Hindi plus English. We have both type of classes going on, and I always switch between Hindi and English as required. But in general, when we such have open webinars, it's English. Sorry, we have to align with the language of the exam. Next question is CMA certification necessary or only passing is enough? See, pass होने पे you will get the credential that you have passed CMA, but what happens is you will miss out on a lot of benefits. For example, first is networking. First thing, what happens is, for example, let's say I'm based out of Pune. In Pune, there are around 5 events which take place annually on an average, where all the members, not from just Pune, we have Mumbai, and then we have guest speakers coming in from, let's say, Bangalore at times, Kochi, Delhi. Another thing, the speaker panel is usually C-suite. The last event we had on ESG, we had I think some C-suite person from Skoda, and getting to interact with him directly, maybe building network, dropping him a message after seminar, ke, hey, really glad to hear from you, and that's how you build relations. So that comes in handy. So networking is one big opportunity. Second thing, you get to flaunt your CMA credential on LinkedIn and other parts, which is a bit difficult. Third thing, let's say you get hired, and you have mentioned that you have passed CMA. But if your recruiter is under the impression that you have the certification also, and if they start a like paperwork check or documentation check, तो वो जरूर problem हो जाएगा. But this is rarely. But yeah, usually for certifications, make sure you have something proof. There are huge issues a lot of students are facing. कि fake certifications डाल देते हैं, and their certification is not getting checked, and then people are denied employment even after cracking the interview. Even all the certifications we have in house, we have made sure कि वो LinkedIn integrated है, so recruiter can directly go and check on the LinkedIn. वहाँ पे वो website पे दिखा देगा कि this is a legitimate certificate, and also we have exams in place. That's why we are able to do that. Okay,
So,
lot of questions.
Yeah, we don't have like CMA firms are not there ना, so आई certification इतना जरूरी क्यों है, मतलब
So
job के लिए?
job के लिए it's not जरूरी for job. See, for job only the knowledge part is more than enough. Your skill is more than enough. But when it comes to, let's say, your credential, networking, other benefits, I would say think long term. 5-10 years में आपको आगे जाना है, better profile achieve करनी है, switch achieve करना है, and believe me, analyst, senior analyst और manager level तक ही switch easily हो जाते हैं. When we talk about AVP and VP level switches, you need relation, you need industry relations.
And Aditya, a lot of us are like, हमने पहले कहीं पे कोचिंग लिया है, पर अभी वहाँ पे वैसा चीज नहीं होता है टीचिंग के मामले में, तो FinStreet से कोई हेल्प मिल सकती है ऐसे में?
There is one program we had designed, वो सिर्फ ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए ही है. This has worked out for some of the students. 2 classes specifically जहाँ पे मुझे मैक्सिमम रिक्वेस्ट आती है. Again, I can't take names for legal reasons. But ये जो स्टडी मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम है ना, ये मैंने 15,000 का सिर्फ इन्हीं स्टूडेंट्स के लिए रखा है. Where I only do 2 things. मैं एक तो finance 101 के लेक्चर्स देता हूँ, बेसिक्स के. And after that, I tell them how to do self study. And after that, every Thursday, I have a separate call with these guys और यहाँ पे मैं इनके सिर्फ डाउट्स क्लियर करता हूँ और कोई कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी चाहिए इन वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस, वी ओनली डिस्कस क्वेश्चंस, बट कुछ कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी चाहिए, वी डिस्कस दिस एंड दिस गोज ऑन फॉर 6 months. आई ओनली गिव 3 months फॉर वन पार्ट, तो 3 month में आइडियली प्रिपरेशन एक पार्ट का हो जाता है सेल्फ स्टडी बेस में आराम से. सो दिस इज वन ऑप्शन आई हैव. आई होप दैट आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Sure. Guys, we have a hard stop at 5:05, but I'll try to cover as much questions as I can. Sir, do you guarantee कि एक group at least 6 to 9 month में average student crack कर लेगा? Yes, definitely. 6 to 9 months दे रहे तो not average, less than average भी कर लेगा. But it also depends on you putting in the effort, at least 2 hours a day, with your mobile off, ठीक है, not distracted. And secondly, having right teacher, me or anyone else. Also, please discuss about the case study competitions, how to participate. Shruti, it's interesting to get some traction on this. Case study competition every year, somewhere around September or October release होती है. If you are part of my FinStreet group, हमसी का if possible link share कर देना WhatsApp group का, वहाँ पे मैं update दे दूंगा once the case study is out. All you have to do is create a group of minimum 3 students. This is only for students, by the way, and maximum 5 students from, let's say, BCom, BBA, MBA, कुछ भी चलता है, degree doesn't matter. And you have to crack the case study. एक केस स्टडी मतलब एक पीडीएफ मिलेगा जहाँ पे बिजनेस में प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है. यू हैव टू क्रिएट अ प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ 20-30 स्लाइड्स. यू हैव टू सबमिट इट. यू सबमिट सॉल्यूशन विद इन आई थिंक 2 months or 3 months. तो दिसंबर एंड तक यू हैव टू सबमिट इट. इन जनवरी यू गेट योर रिजल्ट्स. यू दे शॉर्टलिस्ट टॉप 10 टीम्स और उनको वो फाइनल राउंड के लोकेशन पे बुलाते हैं. सो फॉर अस इट वाज बैंगलोर एंड इट द कॉस्ट इज टेकन केयर बाय द इंस्टीट्यूट. सो हमारे लिए लिटरली कैब का फेयर भी उन्होंने दिया था. फ्लाइट टिकट्स वर बुक्ड बाय देम ओनली, IIMA ओनली, and everything was taken care by them. After competition happens somewhere around Feb or March. And let's say if you are an India winner, you also get to compete either in Middle East, मतलब दुबई में, और US. Not sure वो कहाँ पे कैसे करते हैं, but you get a level up. हमारे टाइम पे नहीं था, पिछले साल से स्टार्ट हुआ है कि India winners are taken to US or UK for next round, one more round for same case study. Next is, can I do US CMA with BAF? BAF, I think ये गुजरात साइड बहुत famous है कोर्स है. You can do it. You have just passed out of HSC. We have 12 pass students coming in. Don't worry, it's doable. I'm 12 pass, step-by-step information to be followed. Nandini, you have to simply start preparing first. You don't have to register, by the way. Don't spend on first IIMA registration. Join a class. Make sure you are enjoying the curriculum. Means the most important part out of my whole journey as a professional, I would say, is if I'm able to enjoy something I'm studying, I'm able to crack that easily. And if something I'm getting bored, वो थोड़ा difficult हो जाता है. नींद आ जाती है, retain नहीं होता है, बहुत issues आते हैं. So first, I would say, take up Finance 101, given that I think you have just passed out of 12th. After that, start attending lectures. Finance 101 के बाद तो एक दो डेमो जब भी बैच स्टार्ट हो रहा है, you can step in. If you like, then set up a date that when you want to appear for the exam. Right now, our June batch is going in for September and October. Let's say you don't want to hurry, you target Jan or Feb. So what you can do, you can set up the date mentally. You don't have to register. You start preparing with a plan in place कि max नवंबर तक आपका prep complete हो जाना चाहिए. December will be just for practice. And somewhere around November, so the way it works is आपकी एक deadline होती है registration की, that is 15th of the second month. Let's say you want to appear for Jan and Feb window. Your registration deadline is 15th Feb. But ideally how it works is एक prometric करके center होता है, exam center for all professional exams, CPA, CMA, even IELTS, GMAT वगैरह. So for that you will be given an access to their portal. यहाँ पे dates दिखती है आपको available. उसके अंदर slots दिखते हैं. There is 8 AM slot and there is 12 PM slot. 2 slots for CMA exams. So ideally, let's say you are appearing in Feb, आप Jan first week में register कर लीजिए. And if you're appearing in Jan, आप December में ही register कर लीजिए. This is the first time you will make payment to the main institute IIMA. Until then, don't. Until then, to start with, you can join a class and first start studying and see if the course fits you, if you are enjoying studying in general. I hope that answers your question, Nandini. Sir, I want to know more about project part you discussed. Not right now. It's a big topic. Sir, I have just completed my graduation. Sure, go ahead.
Hello, hi, Aditya. First of all, thank you for the webinar. I just want a couple of minutes of you. So I just want to give a quick introduction of mine. I'm Aryan and I'm talking from Chandigarh. I just graduated from Bachelor of Commerce last year. So I have given a couple of attempts of Part 2 CMA. And unfortunately, I couldn't complete, I couldn't open the essay window.
Okay.
So I gave my last attempt in January. So I want to step into finance world. So I just went on with US CMA. So I have joined MNC in my area. It's into real estate. It's a US MNC, but the department I got is the accounts payable department. which is
Okay.
not of my interest, but like I had to take one job since it's my gap year. So I just wanted to fill my gap. I want to create my profile. So going on, I want to like pursue CMA, but I'm not in a state to take a call ki I should go again with part two, or I shall start part one, or I shall even give CMA or not. So like if you can give me like your point of view on this, it would be very helpful.
Sure. Here's a simple trick I have for all the students. Whenever you are having such dilemma in taking critical decisions, just think of it in this way. Will that decision impact your life in 10 years or not? Let's say we are in 2024 right now. So in 2034, if you wake up one day and you see CMA in front of your name, will it make an impact? I think definitely yes. And that's why I'm so optimistic about investing in these certificates. When it comes to, let's say, other parts which are short term, or let's say even some students come and tell me that, sir, हमारे ऑफिस में प्रेशर है, ये वो है, we are not able to pursue it. Believe me, your 6 month का performance versus a degree that is going to serve you for rest of your life. Your career is ahead for 20, 30 years. So whatever you do today, specifically in 2, 3 years at the beginning, this forms your basis. Fundamental formation बनता है for your long term career ahead. Ideally, get all the best possible things in your plate already. So I hope that answers your dilemma के अभी करना चाहिए या नहीं. Any follow up question on this? No.
Yeah. So like, do you like recommend me to like attempt part two for the third time, or
Okay.
should I go for the part one?
ठीक है. 2 बार हो गया है. See, it's up to you. The good part is September, October में your syllabus or curriculum is getting changed. Part 2 का almost 20% हो रहा है. Mainly section C, D and E. Ethics में तो काफी change हो रहा है. And for part 1, it's only 10% changing. This is apple orange wala scenario. It's completely up to you. If you are bored, if you will open part 2 again, and if you'll think, yeah, I can't just take this anymore, don't do part 2. Do part 1 first, then go for part 2. If you have that in you कि नहीं मुझे थोड़ा सा पता है, if I'm going to put in more efforts and I'll clear part 2 this time in a very short duration or an optimized duration, then I'll take a part 2. Then you can take part 2. So again, it's up to you. I would say sit down, take pen and paper, think, talk to yourself, and come up with a decision.
Okay, got it. And one more thing, like, does the like experience of accounts department or accounts payable department or the GL department like count in the US CMA work ex criteria?
Yes, it does. I'll tell you a story of my most successful mentee. I mean, I'm super proud about what she has achieved. So I met this one of my mentees who was a CA dropout. And her story was something like, इंटर कर लिया, इंटर के बाद जो आर्टिकलशिप था डमी, she tried to do it dummy. Dummy means you just get a certificate from a chartered accountant saying you have worked for 3 years, that's it. But meanwhile she was studying for some other courses, and उस पेपर वर्क में कुछ इशू निकला. So she had to again give in 3 years, which she wasn't ready to do. And घर से also she had other challenges as well. So what I did, I said, go out and take whichever job you are getting. And she got into a good MNC, but again, US नहीं, इंडिया की MNC है, it's a big one, but accounts payable and accounts receivable, यही role था. She stayed there for 6 months. Within 6 months, she was actively looking. Okay, जिस दिन join किया, next दिन से ही she was looking for another job. Within 6 months, she got into a company called Northern Trust, which is a investment bank based out of US at a very basic salary. I think 2.85 था. But I still said, जब भी आप कोई कंपनी ज्वाइन करते हो, it's either one of these. Either go for a brand, मतलब एक MNC है, well recognized, people know about it, or go for a really good role. She went for the brand. NT was really good. She stayed there for 3 years. During these 3 years, she also pursued CMA. Her salary in 3 years went up to somewhere around 4.5. And the next switch she took was into Deutsche Bank. And over here, she grabbed more than 9 lakh. So a struggle period of almost यहाँ का 3 साल और यहाँ का 6 महीने, I would say 4 years. And believe me, she is not from Pune. So living here on rent, taking care of a lot of things, it was very difficult. But she managed. She struggled for 4 years, but after that she got into DB with 9 lakh, and abhi to I think uske 2 saal ho gaye DB mein. So her salary is somewhere around 11, 12, making almost a lakh per month. So ये phase कभी कभी आपको देखना पड़ता है. If your start is not that smooth ना, so this transition from a bad role to decent role and then decent role to good role, वो over time होता है. And somehow people are not able to see that. लोगों को लगता है कि यार मैं 20-30 हज़ार के salary के लिए I'm not going to shift out of a tier 3, tier 4 city. I'm behind students all the time. आ जाओ Bangalore, आ जाओ Mumbai, आ जाओ Gurgaon. You will struggle for first 2 years, but for next 15-20 years, you will be sorted. But वो vision on वो conviction चाहिए खुद में कि कर लेंगे हम. I hope that answers your question again, Aryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one last question of mine. what's your point of view on we get to know about courses like KPMG X investment banking, yeah, Grant Thornton X some course, and they cost around 20K 30K. So are they really worth it, or are they just a gimmicky thing?
Okay, so market is mainly split. By the way, I can see what 20-30 chats जो आके गए हैं. I'm really sorry, मैं अलग से Q&A वगैरह कर लूँगा. I'll download all the chats and I'll respond separately. But time being, one request. ठीक है, chat तो मैं देख लूँगा. I'll answer most of the question in some other way. But yeah, timing, I'm really sorry about this. Hamsika, maybe you can take screenshots of the chat we are having. So under sure, private certifications, the major issue is, let's say if there is something aligned immediately, जैसे अगर I think Masters Union का रहता है वो KPMG into something या बाकी के कुछ है, private certification if they commit something कि यार हम आपको placement देंगे ही देंगे, on mail, on paper, written, it should be part of their policy, then maybe you can take this up. और वो momentum based benefit रहता है, मतलब एक certification है जहाँ पे there is written guaranteed job, तो एक बार job मिल गया तो it's end of the road. So look at this as a short term investment. Short term investment. I wouldn't completely tag this as bad, but again, benefit should be outrightly written. अगर नहीं है, then maybe don't get into it. And secondly, अगर बोल के भी नहीं दे रहे, which is like case with lot of firms, you should go and fight. आप एक कॉल करोगे कंज्यूमर फोरम में, एक फॉर्म भरना होता है, you get your whole fees back. It is as simple as that. I don't understand why students just give up. Secondly, coming to professional certifications, once you do this certification, it's like a long term investment जो आपको network देगा, credibility देगा market में. प्लस ऐसे भी होता है ना कि सॉरी व्हाट आर्यन नाम था ना आपका. सो आर्यन, ऐसे भी होता है व्हेन यू आर गेटिंग क्रेडिबिलिटी, मतलब कल को मैं भी उठ के फिनस्ट्रीट का एक सर्टिफिकेशन दे सकता हूँ, बट फॉर माई क्रेडिबिलिटी टू बी बिल्ड मुझे एक टेस्ट लेना ही पड़ेगा. और जितना डिफिकल्ट टेस्ट है, जितना डिफिकल्ट टेस्टिंग करिकुलम है, उतना उसका वैल्यू ज्यादा होता है मार्केट में. व्हाट हैपेंस विद प्राइवेट सर्टिफिकेशन इज एवरी टॉम डिक एंड हैरी इज एबल टू गेट दिस. So there is no differentiating factor. Everyone is either taking help of Google, their friends. There's no practical testing scenario. अगर assignments है अच्छे है, that's a different scenario again. But अच्छे assignments वाले मैंने आपको the forage already बता दिया. You can check that out. So that's the overall idea. I hope you get complete context. मैं personally होता तो मैं कभी private certifications पे नहीं जाता. Credibility का major issue मुझे personally है कि यार कोई testing के लिए कुछ hurdle ही नहीं है, घर पे बैठ के टेस्ट देना है, sense नहीं बनता.
Got it, man. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Bless you.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Okay, guys, it's 5:15 already. I'll good coaching institute पूछ रहे हो रोनक, you can join FinStreet. But yeah, sorry guys, we are wrapping up, and thank you so much for spending your Saturday with me. It's amazing to see a full house with so many questions and so many amazing interactive candidates. Hopefully I'll see you maybe in a month or 2 months time, maybe with one more such webinar. Thank you so much for attending again. Take care. Enjoy your weekend.